Hi, my name is Annamieka Hops, and this is the Art Friends Show, where every conversation focuses on getting to know the essence of creativity itself. I'd love to invite you as well to join me inside of Art Friends School, where we go deeper into these topics and join in with other art friends around the world. Thanks so much for joining us, and let's get to the show. Hi, my name is Annamieka. I also go by Mika, and today I'm going to do a solo show. This is the Art Friend Show, where for 100 days in a row I'm going live and generally talking to other artists, but once in a while I'll do a solo show and share something with you about art, the creative process, creative business, or my journey. So today I'm going to share the evolution of my art teaching and mentoring business over the years. I'm going to just check and make sure this is recording. Okay, it is. Cool. So I've got it pointed at my whiteboard. I'm kind of in teacher mode here. So, and I'll try to keep it clipping along as I tell you kind of a timeline. We'll start with a timeline of how I got to where I am today as an art teacher and mentor in our community. So, I grew up in Oregon, and I got a wonderful opportunity to study art at the University of Oregon, where from 2003 to 2007, I did what is called a BFA. So a BA in art would be like a general studies focused in art, and then a BFA means you spend an additional year doing a thesis and have a final show. And so that's what I did. It was a wonderful opportunity to focus on my art. Also in 2007, I got this incredible opportunity to do an internship and then later become staff as program manager at this artist residency and workshop center on the Oregon coast. It's beloved by many, including myself, forever. It's called the Sitka Center for Art and Ecology, and it is a place where artists and scientists from all over the world come to do residencies in the fall, winter, and spring, and then all summer there are workshops. So in summer of 2007, I got to live on site. I was, right on that pivotal moment finishing my BFA, and I got immersed in the culture of workshops. And to me, having been a lifelong artist, always loving to make art, that's why I chose to study it, it was so liberating and wonderful to see people of all stripes and ability levels learning art in this workshop format that was very different from the academic format, and especially the really in-depth, rigorous BFA. It was a combined BFA, MFA cohort, which had a lot more of the, writing papers and looking at art history and that whole thing. So my education was really founded both in academia and in the love of the creative process, which I really saw celebrated in the culture of workshops. All right, so then, I got to live on site at Sitka, 2007, 2008. And then I would say that the years, you all know what happened in 2008, right? It was the recession. And the recession and all of that was really pivotal. I'm actually going to do to 2011. I was trying to figure out what to do. I did a bunch of healthcare jobs. I became a medical Spanish interpreter. I got my massage license. I worked in, I traveled to Guatemala 3 times as a medical Spanish interpreter, and I was considering going to graduate school for healthcare. And the art practice at the time, I did some public art, some grant-based work, but primarily I was just like trying to find my way in the world and share my heart, And looking back, it's so interesting because it's been so long, but I felt like I was not an artist in this period of time because I wasn't actively making my work in the way I had imagined. Does this ever happen to any of you? And can you even believe it? It's not that long, but I really felt like I lost it. Now, in 2012, I did The Artist's Way, And The Artist's Way is this classic book by Julia Cameron, and she has like chapters. It seems like it's kind of loosely based on a 12-step program because it's 12 weeks. And she has you do 2 essential practices: morning pages, which are free writing, 3 pages every morning, not to share, just to get your thoughts and get in touch with yourself, and then artist dates. And this practice changed my life for the better. And I reclaimed myself as an artist. I, at the time, had just gotten married actually, and had just was about to start a doctorate of physical therapy program. And I deferred admission for a year and founded my studio. I was also in like a small business training program because I like to do a lot of things. And I basically never looked back. So 2013, IDA and studio. So in 2013, I founded my business as we know it today. So 2013, I had been in this small business training program that was also a matched savings grant program. So for a year and a half leading up to this, I had been saving money and then taking business trainings and forming a business plan. And that is how I founded my studio, which I opened in 2013 off of Division Street here in Portland. And at the time, I was still supporting myself as a massage therapist as well as making art, and my vision was to use that space for everything. And that is what I did for 9 years after that. So lots to say about that studio, but so that's when I really came on board, like, ta-da, here we are. So I was seeing massage clients, painting, and that's when I started participating in Portland Open Studios and all of those things. In those subsequent years, I used to teach every week in that studio for a period of time, etc. I can't remember the exact year, but I started teaching at Sitka Center again around that time. And I would say by 2014 through 2016, I may have to look, but 2014, 2016, I was really starting to do a lot of workshops. I had this, Opal Creek workshops. So I had this incredible opportunity to be like the Opal Creek is this wilderness area in Oregon. And at the time it was the largest uncut roadless section of lower elevation old growth left in the state. And there used to be this beautiful off-grid outdoor education center there called Jawbone Flats. And my friend at the time, Serena, they needed a fill-in to teach their youth art program. And I did that, and then I was like, that instructor wanted to come back. This is an amazing gig. And I was like, yo, can I start an adult workshop retreat here in the style of like my niche? And they said yes. So for a lovely period of time, and even up to twice a year for a bit, I was leading groups there in the spring and the fall into this gorgeous wilderness area, and then taking over their outdoor education science room and turning it into a painting retreat. And that was so formative for me because it also, I feel like it was a unique contribution and a way to show people Oregon. And it was one of those magical times where I couldn't believe people would fly in from like across the country to meet little old me and then hike 3 miles into the wilderness together. I would have them like drive in all the painting supplies. They could have like a supply van, but all the people had to hike in. And along the way, we would find colors and plant shapes and kind of design our paintings in our visual language. And then together we would make what I called a palette of place. So a lot of my original teaching material was really developed while teaching at Sitka Center, and especially while teaching at Opal Creek, because it was just a brand new thing. Now enter online courses. So sometime in here, I took Well, I had taken like a business class online and things, so I was starting to see online education as a very exciting thing. Let me just make sure it's still recording because I have it turned around. Okay. Oh, there. You can see the numbers. Cool. So, yeah, and then I took a course by Flora Bowley. It was called Bloom True. I think it was in 2014. And I hosted in my studio a group of us, and we all like did it together. Betsy, Jennifer, Melissa, and Flora gave us like if you take it with a friend. She's always been so generous. And the way I saw her translate her process into this gorgeous, immersive online course, oh my God, from there on, I was hungry to do it. I wanted to do it so bad. So I got a RAC grant. RAC is called the Regional Arts and Culture Council. So RAC is a local arts entity that distributes public funds to individual artists and arts organizations in the Tri-County area here in Portland, Oregon. And I got what is called a professional development grant to develop my first online course. So I used that along with the incredible video generosity of my friend Kristen of Brave Alice Studios. And we basically translated the curriculum from my Opal Creek retreats into an online course. And this was called Wild Wonder. And Wild Wonder changed my life for the better. So Wild Wonder was my way of packaging like all these retreats where I took people through walks in the woods and taught painting into an online version that anyone could take anywhere in the world. So I learned so much with Wild Wonder as well, because a few things I learned, like I still have it, people still take it, and you can take it, it's on my website. But I also learned that, pre-recording and like producing and editing, this thing took me 1.5 years. This isn't all exact timing, but like took me 1.5 years. And it was also really scary to be seen in that way. And at the time I wasn't comfortable on video as much as I am now. And I remember when I first showed those videos to my friends in my studio, one night I ran giggling with like a full body embarrassment reaction down the hall and like hid in the bathroom. Like it was so strange to see myself talk and my mannerisms and, just all the things. So it was a big personal kind of growth. And I also learned as an educator that, in fact, pre-recorded courses have some limits too, because the first couple times I ran it, the feedback that I would get would make me actually want to create additional videos in order to show people more specific things. Because it's really different, right, than walking around a classroom or a retreat and making sure everyone's really getting it and being able to show them and develop, personal assignments to make sure they get it. I noticed that these were like beautifully produced. Oh, and we also got like music from friends, and I mean, they're just really fun to watch. I got all dressed up, the whole thing. But I noticed that in terms of a format, I always wanted to add an individual touch. So, there were a few things in between here. There was, also Life Book, 21 Secrets. I started getting invited, all those things where you get a big bundle when you sign up for something. I started getting invited to kind of do that circuit as an online course creator and teacher. And there was this one moment when I was filming Garden of Possibilities and responding to like, I don't even know, it was like 1,000 different student projects inside of Lifebook. I was like, this ain't it. I had thought that my direction was like bigger and bigger and global, and that will never cease to dazzle me. But as I was looking up yet another synonym for beautiful, to comment individually on people's work, I realized I really wanted to work in depth with fewer artists. And that this kind of path of like bigger, better, global, superstar, giant online classes, like it didn't feel like congruent for me. So in 2018, I made a book. I was on a dog walk and it like just came as a download, and I said, let's go deep. So let's go deep. Let's go deep is changed my life again, because I said, all right, y'all, I don't know how I'm going to do this, but we're going to do this. And in May 2018, people started a year-long mentoring process with me. And I said, I'm going to take you through a thesis year. I was craving in my own work to go back to that BFA cohort, to go back to that intimate discussion and ongoing eyes on your work, to help people develop a cohesive body. And also, by then I had students who had come to all of my retreats, had taken all my online classes, and were like, I want to develop my own style. I don't want to paint like anybody else. I want to, say something in my work. And I said, all right, this is I want to help you do that too. So that's what Let's Go Deep was intended to do. And so in spring 2018, I started teaching it. And let's see. Yeah, I turned 33. And let me think about this. Okay, so there were a couple of things. So first of all, it changed my life because people committed to me for an entire year. And I didn't even know how I was going to show up month after month for a year, but I did, and it was wonderful. And it was also a pivotal point in my business because people either signed up to pay $99 a month for a year, or they paid up front with $1,000. And I think I had something like 35 people in that first cohort. So if you can imagine, as a gal who had been squeaking it out on like public funded grants and massage and waitressing and public health, like interpreter positions, and like the studio and teaching every week, and packing my old janky ass Subaru and driving to the mountains, like suddenly having either in my bank or a projected total of $35,000 was life changing. And do you know what it resulted in? Very directly linked, I think. We got pregnant. So 3 months after I started teaching this year, I got pregnant with my daughter. And so 2019 was pretty wild. So I would write the curriculum and then teach it. Like I was creating it live. I had the whole trajectory mapped out to help people find their voice, create a cohesive body of work, and then debut it. But I wrote it and developed it as we went, and we would meet every month, and I would teach it live, and then we would meet on a different Wednesday every month, and we would have a Q&A, and it was just so lovely and rich. And I tell you what, I gave my final lesson presentation, I believe it was April 11th, 2019, and then I gave birth on the 13th. It was like, wow, a little early. She came a little early, but it was so intricately linked. Like this big kind of life's work project was born along with that life-changing thing. And so I took a few months off, and then I taught it again for a year. So from 2019 through 2021, 2021, I was mentoring year-round in this program. And I played with the name. I called it Creative Clarity, Let's Go Deep, and the Art Practice Accelerator, and then I renamed it the Visual Artist Accelerator. So it's a really long name. I don't know, naming things. Sometimes not my favorite. So I called it that because it's basically, at its essence, after teaching it for a year and then another year, I decided to condense it to 6 months. And then I decided to condense it to 3 months. And part of why I did that is because I would find that people would really respond to the time length of the container to kind of overcome perfectionism. And that worked for a while. The thing that I found is that I really miss teaching year round. And so the way that let me just pause for a second in this story. So if you're just now tuning in, this is the evolution of my teaching and mentoring career. I've been getting a lot of questions in these Art Friend interviews about how I do my mentoring business and all of that. And so I'm kind of giving you the timeline of how I became the one-on-one mentor that I am. Yeah, so here's how it is. As Let's Go Deep, I was still doing it as a group, but then I would have people request to work with me one-on-one. And so I had kind of a VIP level. And oh my gosh, I loved working with VIPs because we could go so deep with those one-on-one sessions. And so I started offering it more and more. And by the time that I offered it as the Visual Artist Accelerator, I offered it exclusively as a one-on-one mentoring program. And it is so fun. It is life-changing. Oh my gosh. And I learned a lot over those years. From 2018 to 2022, I evolved into a one-on-one mentor only. And I now have to charge $6,000 for my 90-day program because I've also learned a lot about business over the years. And, back in the day when I did Let's Go Deep, I charged $1,000 for the year. It was a group program that was life-changing. And the basic kind of rule that I don't teach business. I'm happy to talk about it. There are very, very business only experts out there. But the basic rule that I say to my artists and myself is anytime we charge, we can live on half of that or less. So if we're thinking about something that's going to bring us an annual revenue, for example, of $30,000, that'll be about $15,000 to our actual life, and the other half will go to expenses, taxes, and the support and tools you need to pay for to deliver whatever it is. Okay, so I now offer my one-on-one, really amazing, robust 90-day Visual Artist Accelerator for $6,000. And I've done it with many, many artists now. I have capacity to just do that with a few people at a time. As you can imagine, it's quite a commitment energetically, time-wise, etc. on both of our accounts. So I still have that, and I'm here right now, live, creating what's next. And you are with me, and I want to hear from you, because the way I see it, 2023, here's a big blank space. I want to create Art Friend World. So here we go. Art Friend World. If you think about it, here in my career, I went really wide with these online classes, and then I funneled down, that's kind of funny. Whatever. You follow. I funneled down to this really specific niche, and I want to open it back up again so that we can utilize this global community. And I'd love to create an offering that feels in the spirit of Let's Go Deep, where it's year-round, where I'll teach a live class every month and facilitate small group discussions so you get eyes on your work and connect with each other. And I basically want to take the curriculum that I had written here and have been improving and developing with every client since, and teach it live in an accessible way, and then let it live in a place. And that's going to be Art Friend World, okay? I'm so excited. I have a little bit in my throat. But so this is the evolution of my teaching career. Is I am actively workshopping this idea and building it as I do a live art friend interview every day. And so if you're interested in joining me, I would love to hear from you. You can send me a message, and I'm going to build it on Podia, which is a membership site. That's a whole nother thing. I could tell you all the different online course delivery platforms that I have tried and paid for over the years. And so I've been weighing this out for a long time. But I'm going to build it on a place where basically every class can live so that you'll have access to it in addition to the live class as I teach it. But it has to be a place where we actually like to spend time and hang out, because we've all been on janky sites too. So if you want to come be a part of Art Friend World with me, I'm going to start teaching year-round again. And it's going to be, I think I'm going to just keep it in the spirit of Let's Go Deep. So it'll be $99 a month. Or if you're like, yes, I want to do a year with you and develop a whole body of work and have you guide me through it and help me debut it, well, heck yeah, you can just prepay for a year for $1,000. It'll be group-based, and I imagine that this first year will be really intimate, a lot like it was there, where you're getting in on the beginning of something and we get to do it together. So I'm pretty excited. If you've watched all the way until now, thank you. Thank you for watching the timeline of my art mentoring and teaching career. And I'm really honored to be able to share this. It just, y'all, this is what lights me up. I absolutely love talking about art and the creative process. And over the years, I've really found that I have this unique ability to love artists in a safe way where they can then develop their work and share it and bring themselves to a whole new level. So whether you're just developing your own style after taking lots of paint like me classes, or you're a practicing professional and you're really craving something more like a BFA, MFA, cohort thesis experience, that's what I do. And of course, that's what I crave. We teach best what we need to know. So I learned so much from every client, every conversation. Yeah. Anyway, and the other thing is, I was saying with Art Friend World, I'm not the art friend. That's the vibe that I embody, so it feels really natural to call it that. But it's about making friends with your creativity and becoming really in touch with and fluent in conversation with your own art friend. It kind of is like the spirit of Julia Cameron's Artist's Way, where it's all about showing up and befriending and reclaiming that part of yourself. So I would like to eventually illustrate a lushly painted book that's like a millennial, my own version of the Artist's Way, but with my curriculum that I've been developing as a mentor over the years. And I'd also really love to develop this as a sketch comedy series and TV show, but I think that Art Friend World is where I'll put that energy so that your teaching videos are entertaining at best, and hopefully they're also very informative and help you along in your process. So, okay, that's today's Art Friend episode and a very soft announcement of my new offering, which is a monthly live class, and you can subscribe for one or as many months as you would like, or you can invest in our co-creation of it together for a full year for $1,000, and you'll be able to be inside of Art Friend World and have access to everything we create over the coming year. Sound good? Okay, cool. I'm going to sign off for now and comment with your questions, send me a message, and again, thank you for watching. I'm Annamieka or Mika from Portland, Oregon. Bye. I'd love to have you inside of Art Friends School, where we go deeper into these topics. Follow the link that's in the show notes or find it on my website at annamieka.com.